Now let's see about something called socket programming. Socket programming. Now, before we learn about socket programming, let us see what do you mean by a socket. Okay, Joshni, you remember I told you something called an endpoint or the telephone in the earlier Alice Bob. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
now socket is nothing but an endpoint. Now imagine you want to do a two-way communication between Alice and Bob. Okay, you want to do a two-way communication between Alice and Bob. You should be having two endpoints, both at Alice's side and even at Bob's side. Okay, this particular endpoint, you call it to be a socket. So that's why I've written very correctly. Socket is nothing but an endpoint of a two-way communication link. You're planning to do a two-way communication, because what I mean by two-way communication is Alice should be able to send to Bob. Bob should also be able to send to Alice. So that is what you call a two-way communication, both to and fro. Now, socket is nothing but that endpoint between two programs or two machines over the network. You can think it as very simple, like, these are two endpoints. Okay, you plug this into, this is one endpoint, this is one endpoint, this is another endpoint, a plug and a socket. Yeah, this is a plug, this is a plug, and this is a socket. You connect it in, and when this plug goes into the socket, I say the connection is made. Now, you have a term called socket programming. You have a term called socket programming. I even imagine you, I even suppose you remember two things which I told you earlier called TCP and UDP. Now, socket programming helps you to do your TCP connections. Socket programming will help you to do your TCP connections. That is why socket programming is also known as TCP programming, or very simple, they say it is client server programming, client server networking, client server programming, socket network programming, socket programming. All these are one and the same. They will be using your TCP, which gives you a correct order of the packets which will reach the receiver from the sender. Now, hope you remember about these endpoints called sockets. Now, I can say it is a client, because A wants to connect to B. A is called a client, and B is called the server, because this guy is ready to take up any connection from A. The socket at the client side, I will call it client socket. And the socket at the server side, I will be calling it the server socket. So for a connection to happen between A and B, Alice and Bob, you will need both a client socket and a server socket. Client socket will ask for a connection, and server socket will receive the connection. Now, in socket programming, there are three kind of sockets which are normally used. So these are how they are named. You call them data stream socket. Data stream socket is nothing but your input output stream. Data input output stream, data output stream. You use a data stream socket so that you can input and output, which in other terms I say you can either read or you can write. In networking terms, my reading and writing, I will be calling it exchange of data, because reading writing is nothing but exchange of data. So for exchange of data in your socket programming, you will be using the data stream socket. It can either be object streams or it could be data streams. We will see it when we do programming. Now, to make connections, you will need two sockets. Hope you remember this. You need, I told you, you need a client socket and you even need a server socket to make connections. Now, the server socket, you call it by the name server socket itself. There's no space in between. These are keywords, okay? Data stream is a keyword. Server socket is a keyword. You write it together, server socket, server socket. Server socket will be on the server side. Okay, so let's talk about A and B. I do have Alice socket over here. I even have Bob's socket over here. Here I will have a server socket. Okay, this is the server. This is the client. This is the client. A is the client. Alice is the client. Bob is the server. At Bob's end, I will have a server socket. At Ali's end, at the client socket, I will have a client socket. Now, client socket, you don't have a keyword called client. You simply write it socket. Simple sockets are client socket. Server socket, you very in detail write it as server socket. Okay, so these are the three kinds of sockets which are used in networking. You will have your data stream sockets, you will have your server sockets at the server side, and you will have your socket at the client side. As we earlier saw, socket, they allow communication between two processes. Now, these are the few things you need to do a connection. Okay, let's say you have Alice and you've got Bob over here. To create a connection, you will have two sockets over here. Here you'll have a simple socket. Here you will have a server socket. So first what will happen is this client, he will give a request to the server. Okay, server, he will accept the request. Okay, once the request is accepted, it means now you have made a secure connection between your client and server. Once that is done, you can be transporting your data. So these are the three steps you need to do while creating a connection. Client will give a request to the server. Server will accept it. Once it is accepted, there is now a good connection between the client and the server. Once the connection is made, you can go on transmitting your data. Okay. So I've done this with the help of a diagram. We'll start from here. In the client side, you will have the socket. A request is being sent to the server socket. Okay. Now, once the request is reached, the server will accept the client socket. So that is why I'm not written server over here, because the acceptance happens for the client socket. Okay, the acceptance happens. Once the acceptance happens, you can now transmit data between the server and the client. So this is how a socket communication will happen between a server and a client.